So, greetings and God bless. Something I have been noticing, of course, the past couple of years, past few years, people have been acting out and acting particularly inhumanely. And um, something I'm realizing is like, okay, so men and women, but um, like the people I'm seeing um, throwing food in other people's face. It's women throwing food in a female server's face. So there's this hatred and disrespect that these female customers, they spent $20 or whatever. And like in this latest, there was this Chipotle customer who her food was remade twice and got extra protein. And she threw this hot food in the server's face. And I've seen, there was this other instance where it was like spicy food was thrown in a server's face, and the server was like refunding or something like that. And and the if you look at the women, they're these kind of mean, entitled, narcissistic, bullying kind of women. You could see that they're rageful, they're angry, they're controlling, and they're used to making people afraid. They're used to being overbearing, and uh, and it's like they just want to abuse, even when the person has bent over backwards, even when the person's going to refund their food, they want to commit violence. And they choose an entry level worker who's making what, $13 an hour, maybe, or maybe $20 an hour. And they throw food in this woman's face because they're not doing it to men. See, that's the interesting thing. Like, who's the ultimate victim in December 2023? It is the biological women. So biological women who have $20 to spend on dinner will go to a fast food place and then try to attack the female entry level worker. Now, that woman, the biological woman who's violent, is not going to do that to a biological man who claims to be a woman. No, she's not going to do it to a biological man. Why? Because that biological man who identifies as a woman is going to kick her butt. That biological man who identifies as a man is going to kick her butt. But this evil, demonized woman that seems to be there's a lot of these days is thinks she can be violent to an entry level worker in fast food. And I'm sure there's a lot more of these instances than is reported. Why? Because it's a big hassle. It's a real big ordeal to take somebody to court, to make sure the police do anything, because the police aren't there really for real justice of everybody. It's just some sort of theater. It's just some sort of something that has nothing to do with the real people that exist, that are really making things run in the world. And then to go to court and have to deal with lawyers and paperwork and waiting and all this stuff, and generally no justice being served, or not sufficient justice being served. It's like it adds insult to injury. And your lawyer is going to tell you you were wrong, maybe you should have done something better, blah blah blah. It's not worth it. Like, just like it's not worth going to the hospital, in my opinion, unless you have, like, your lung is hanging out of your body, and even then you're going to be organ harvested. So, but what I notice is those people who are in that income group of having, going eating out regularly, um, they are the people who are now complaining nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work because, number one, even in 2019 and before, there isn't OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Association or organization or act, people that, government agencies are not here to protect workers. Government agencies are there to be bribed. They're there to fulfill the government agenda. They're not there for workers. It's a miracle. I mean, it's a bona fide miracle if the government actually does something that helps you, just like it's a miracle if medicine helps you, or the legal system helps you, or the school system helps you. It's a miracle. And praise the Lord when these things occur. All glory to God. But generally, everything is run by nepotism and, self-interest and agendas, not really what is right, unfortunately. And unfortunately for all those people's souls, people who are like, oh, I gotta kill people for a paycheck, you know, gotta put people in jail for a paycheck, gotta expose children to pedophiles for a paycheck, you know. But yeah, it's satanic, it's like unconsciously satanic how customers are like being so, like, just think they have a right to be violent. Like women, these entitled, conceited women who are so full of themselves and so full of rage and anger, they want to lash out, and maybe they can't, they don't have children around because the father is like, you can't have the children or something like that. So they strike out on a food service worker, a female, who might get into trouble at work because, it's a miracle when a boss stands up for you, like, because bullying, like, everybody turns a blind eye until it's some politically correct government narrative, the liberal narrative likes it or whatever. I mean, just look up the statistics of bullying, how people kill themselves about bullying, how the bullies get to dance on the person's grave, gloat about it. Nobody does anything. It like, our society is so sick, and these people, like, nobody around these toxic, conceited, violent women. I mean, these are criminals. These women that think they can throw hot food with spices that, like, spices are like, tear gas is made out of a spice. So they think they can burn women's eyes out with the hot liquids, with the chili spices. They think they can do that. Just, throw it up their nose and their mucous membrane and burn them. If they had shattered glass with feces on it, they would. That there's something so wrong. And I mean, I don't know if it's the 5G. I don't know if it's the injections. I don't know if it was the masking and the nasal swabs and the lockdowns. And, who knows what else, like stuff in the food, water, and air. And this is not this platform's opinion. And I'm not making a statement. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So YouTube, Big Brother, I'm just asking a question because this is bad. Like, this is wrong. We can't allow abusive bullies to attack women working behind the counter. And, like, that's who's so vulnerable right now. And people, like, entitled people are like, nobody wants to work. Everybody's so lazy. No, like, you're going to be assaulted at the job. Your boss won't care. You're going to leave home wounded. You're going to leave work wounded. Nobody's going to care. They're going to just be like, okay, yeah, tomorrow back here at 6 a.m. Like, this world is so evil. And then people are complaining that entry-level workers don't want to work for free, don't want to have to because they're working for free because all of their money is going to rent and car payments and all the stuff that takes into consideration. And people are complaining, and I don't know what the solution is, but number one, I don't blame entry-level workers for this. And it's not that these people are lazy. It's just that it's an inhumane situation that they face, and it's a miracle if you actually get some justice. And I just also think, like, what is going on in our country where people, you know, like men or women, white or black or Hispanic, think that they can assault an employee because they want to get the rocks off. That's the thing. Like, and you know what? Maybe people are on drugs, whether it's prescription meds, but like this is like it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be at a restaurant because you don't know if the customer in front of you is a psycho. And I noticed like late, like I don't know, the past like maybe 5 years or so, well, maybe more, maybe 10 or 15, but like um there's this demon inside women that are, they're just very competitive and predatory and gonna get what's mine. And, you know, they're just gonna be glamorous and the best and the top. And they're psycho. They're evil. They're mean. And yeah, they're able to shake out, a great living, I guess, somehow, um, by conning people or maybe by delivering value that people want to pay for. But it's just like these women are just there's just something really dangerous, evil, pathetic, destructive. And when men do this, because like I was at a McDonald's and this guy was complaining about um, being charged for sauce, 30 cents for some sauce. And and he was talking about like, wrecking the counters. And the thing is there wasn't even anything on the counters because it's a thing. I think so many restaurants don't have your little salt and sugar packets and spoons and forks and stuff because there's so many people, so many crazy destructive bullies that make a mess, that spread the, break the napkin box and break everything, like acting like an out of control tantrum. And the thing is that those people are still running free. Like that's the thing. The justice system lets those people run free. The medical system does not do anything about it. And so we are left in this open air insane asylum, and cops aren't doing anything about it, medicine's not doing anything about it, the justice system isn't doing anything about it. It's deliberate. This is engineered. This is like the people who have $1 million yacht and estates, like the BLM co-founder who has her 3 mansions in different gated communities in white areas. Like, so they're not having to deal with crazy people at Chipotle. And but these are the type of people who are making decisions that affect us, where nobody's sent to a mental institution, nobody's sent for a proper medical evaluation. Different toxins are put in our food, air, and water, and like the 5G and the mobile phones and different other body altering things that are making people, impairing their ability to make good decisions. So all of this thing is deliberate. All of the decision makers are putting all of these obstacles, all of these assaults, all of these toxins into everybody's food, water, and air. And so everybody's like this ticking time bomb. And people like to break things down into gender. Oh, all women are this way, or this skin color is like this, and blah blah blah. No, I think different communities and situations and the person's life will bring out a different acting out kind of a thing. And though you can say statistically women are going to do something like this, like I think it's like women are more like, just I don't know. This is like sneaky, like this bully, and it's these women are doing this unsuspecting. They're not like holding the food, the stuff that they want to throw. They're like they planned it out. They're all calm. They're doing this like they're faking the poor worker out. because they're just looking like they're not going to do anything, and then as fast as can be, they're like throw the food in the face, throw this food with the spices, and it's hot, 500 degrees, in that poor employee's face. And you know what? Even if the employee is a jerk, um, like if you're on your feet all day and you've had to commute and you have to sleep in a slummy place with loud neighbors and mold in the shower and mold in the car and getting overcharged with car repairs and getting overcharged with the landlord and somebody stealing, breaking into your bank account and doing identity theft and all this kind of crap, and you're just making like, $10 an hour or $20 an hour. Like, these entry level employees do get to be a little annoyed. They don't owe us great customer service. It's nice. It's nice when somebody's nice, but when you're just working, like when you're going to a fast food chain, don't expect the best. It's really, I think it's up to you as a customer to be nice and to make it up to that poor entry level worker, because she's working there, not you. You know, um, like she has to get there on her own energy. She has to endure all the sounds and the crazy oils and the hot equipment and annoying people, and not even get paid sufficiently, not have anything really to show for it other than she paid her bills. It's like no like executive type ever wants to work fast food entry level kind of work. Like high level people never want to do it, and other people, nobody wants to do that kind. It's the worst kind of work. It's the most important, but it's the most thankless, punishing work, because you're dealing with these overgrown toddlers who want to strike out, who think they get to be violent. And like I was in Denver, and they have like signs on every bus driver door, like if you assault a bus driver, it's like $75,000 fine, and I don't know, year imprisonment or something like that. And it was because so many bus drivers were assaulted, and but I'm sure it still goes on. Like, and I think it's like there's insane people. There's people who are being driven insane. Number one, I think the system is trying to drive people insane. I think the system is trying to make every person be on their raw nerves all the time. And unless you're really looking, unless you're really into like healing yourself, you're not going to think about this. You're um so I think like the violent people don't realize that they're being manipulated by all the food, all the toxins in the food, air, water, and so forth. But yeah, I really think those, and the thing is, these people, these entitled bullies, they always have support. They they have people who support them. They have their wingmen. They have their wannabe girlfriends. Like, so the bully is kind of like this reflection of what their like their friend group or their family, or and I think folks need to temper the bully. I think folks need to be like, stop being so mean. Like, that's not right. you know and yeah, they might react or whatever, but they need a reality check. They need to not throw food in an entry level worker's face. That's the most disrespectful, like degrading kind of a thing. Like, why do these bullies want to degrade somebody who's already entry level? Like after a long day already. Like, why? I mean, it just seems like the meanest thing. It's like a type of rape, because that entry level worker at the fast food joint does not want to be at that job. She's just there because she needs money to pay her rent, to pay her bills. And then these bullies think they get to come and be violent because they come to be violent. You could because the transaction isn't even a very long transaction. Like when these women who are who are picked up by the police for assaulting employees, I bet they have a history. I bet it's not the first time they've done it, and I think they enjoy it. I think this is this type of sadism, and that is my point. I think American culture, feminist culture of December 2023 is sadistic, and it's sadistic. Feminists are sadistic to other women. And so there's this virtue signaling liberal left. So if you're a person of color, okay, we're going to really help you, especially if you're pretty. If you're pretty and you're young, the left loves you. If you're like overweight and not that great looking, and if you're old, you're garbage. I never see a white progressive liberal person out to help some homeless black older lady. Never. So it's so self-serving, this progressive liberal agenda. It's just so self-serving and so shallow, and it's so misogynistic. That's what I'm finding, is the liberal mentality of today is misogynistic, it's chauvinistic, it's really patriarchal, it's abusive, it's satanic. And folks are like, well, I'm a woman, so I can assault other women. That's what these women think. And I'm thinking, and or like the biological males who are identifying as women. Well, I get to assault women because I identify as a woman. I mean, like woman on woman violence or transvestite violence against women, it's violence, and there's no acceptability. Like it's just and if you want employees, if you want your fast food restaurant to be staffed, like you can't allow people to bully those employees, like like because like folks are not going to want to work at that Chipotle. Folks are not going to want to work at different places, and those that do, um, you know like they probably hopefully they'll defend themselves and they'll be up on things. But that takes a lot of skill, and that kind of person who knows how to defend themselves is not going to work for an entry level job at a gas station. It's usually people who are having some financial hard times, and they're trying to make ends meet on their own. It's just it's so criminal. um, But if you want to keep your fast food restaurant open, if you want to make sure that there's enough staff at your gas station, don't let the bullies assault those employees, because there's not a lot around. There's not a lot who can afford to live in that area. Like people are complaining nobody wants to work. No, no, people are working. They've just started their own business. They've just relocated to Mexico where they can afford to live. No, there's people who are working because everybody needs to, like rent does not come, housing does not come from your imagination. So all of those people who used to work entry level jobs, from 2019 and before, they're like, I think there's been like a 65% new business increase since the lockdowns, uh, because people found a different way. And when these horrible customers think that they can be violent to entry level workers are going to find something else. They'll do like teaching English online or something like that, where they're not going to be assaulted by some maniac who's got some weird issue, and the cops should have her put away, or doctor needs to have treated her, or the justice system needs to put her in prison, you know? But it seems like there's a lot of these running around. And again, I think it's the system is engineering this catastrophe. And I think it is a catastrophe when an entry level worker at a fast food place has to worry if somebody's going to throw hot chili food at the customer. I mean, that to me says, okay, no warm food and no spicy food for employees, because customers think that they can throw 500-degree food with chilies in it at the face. So okay, we just like McDonald's doesn't have the little ketchup packets at the front. Okay, you don't get to have warm food or chilies, because customers think they can assault the employees. Yeah, yeah. If you can't act like a civilized human being, if you can't act like a human being, if you're going to act like an animal, you get treated like an animal. So, you know, um, can't have counters. Don't have like counters up, so so you can't see the employee, because you don't deserve it. So I just do think that society needs to shame bullies and needs to manage and stop bullies. And, and I do think that employees need to be protected. And maybe it is no chilies, no hot food, and having some sort of like bulletproof barrier up, you know? And that makes it all kind of crummy for the rest of us, because, we all like to have a little chit chat, or, just interact with a person or whatever. Nobody wants to uh, talk through a wall at a server. But um, if animals on two legs can't control themselves, and nobody around them, their friends won't stop them, and the police and the justice system won't stop them, and the doctors won't treat them, well, entry level employees should not be whipping boys. They should not be assaulted just because some crazy lady who wants to get her rocks off, who's sadistic, wants to hurt somebody, like. So yeah, I'm really disappointed in feminism. I think it's turned out to be such a complete um, inversion and betrayal of women on so many levels. And I think we're coming to like the biggest valley, like the lowest low um, of that agenda. So, anyways, I really feel bad for entry level workers who are assaulted by customers. I don't think, even if an entry level worker is being jerky, like, I mean, if you're provoking it, like if you're really like asking for it, okay. But I think it takes a lot. I think it takes a lot to do that. And just when I look at the people who do throw food in the face of these entry level workers, it's not some mousy, resigned, peaceful looking person. So, anyways, what do you guys think? Excuse me. Thank you for watching. God bless.